What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I know y'all probably like, where you been? You been laying low. Well, I've been laying low because I've been working on a couple of things. And you guys know when I really get into work mode and when I'm really trying to come up with projects and branding and doing so many other things, I have to often step back and gather my thoughts before I get moving. So what I want to do first and foremost is I want to say to you that this broadcast is it's going to be interesting. It's not going to really be long because I am going to be doing a segment with a couple of ladies. Oh gosh, let me see. I'm trying to think. With a couple of ladies, when is it? I really can't remember. I can't remember. Tuesday night, maybe? I think Tuesday night. So anyway, when I get ready to do the segment, then I will come back and do a little bit longer live. So basically, what I want to do is I really want to talk to you a little bit about perceived value, right? Perceived value versus more or less actual value and things of that nature. And so what I'm going to do, for some reason, it is not letting me put the comments in. I'm trying to see why. So bear with me for a second so I can see why it doesn't want me to be able to add comments. And this one, this stream is public on Facebook. So we need to figure out why you guys cannot comment, because I really want you guys to be able to comment. So hold on a second. Let me see if I can get it to if the comments will come up. And if so, yep, it came up. Okay, got it. So this live is entitled, What Are You Really Worth? Actual reality or perceived reality? Now, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. It's gonna get hot and it's gonna get heavy. I'm gonna bring a guest on with me in a few minutes, but I want you guys to understand something. This live is going to talk a lot about truth, because what I am finding is that we have a lot of our close friends and close family members who are living in a false reality. And the reality with that is it's spilling over into your relationships, and you don't know whether what you're acquiring is sustainable or not. So I think it's important that we discuss what you are really worth, but we're going to discuss it in terms of being desired or valued, right? So in order for us to really do this, it's going to require me to define for you what the difference between desire and value is. All right, y'all? So here it goes. And I want you to make sure that you're paying close attention. Now, if you're watching, guys, please share the live, start a watch party, invite people, because this is some stuff we really need to talk about. Now, when we talk about one's value, the definition of value is the regard that something is held to deserve. Value is the importance, the worth, or the usefulness of something. Okay, so value holds weight. I think that's the first thing you need to understand. Value holds weight, right? Now, let's keep it a stack. All right. Value holds weight. So I want you to remember that. Value is the regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, the worth, or the usefulness of something. All right. To be desired is a little bit different, right? So to be desired is like a strong feeling of something. See, desire is a want. It's something that you wishing for. You know what I'm saying? A desire is something that you wishing for. So see, oftentimes The desire is something that, to be honest, I'm gonna keep it a stat. Desires are oftentimes the things that you want that you know you're not gonna acquire, but you get it in your head that you gonna have it, and you just go crazy behind it. That's what a desire is. A desire is a want. I don't want to say that a value is a need, but to a certain extent, it is somewhat of a need because it's something that's of use, right? So we have a desire and then we have a value. So desire is a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. And value is the regard that something is held to deserve, or the importance or worth or usefulness of something. So when I posed the question a couple of days ago, do you want to be valued or do you want to be desired? My conclusion was, I want to be valued. I don't want you to desire me, because guess what? People desire luxury cars. People desire diamonds. People desire fortune and fame, right? But people value air to breathe, food to eat, a bed to lay in, or a shelter over your head, clothes to put on your body. You get the difference? See, you can do without desires, but you can't do without those things of value, right? So I want to be valued. I want to hold a position that no one can compromise or take from me. But then when we get to talking about value and desire, it opens up a whole can of worms, because what generally ends up happening is we have people who don't even understand desire versus value. So let me put it to you like this. Desire will put you in a situation where you are infatuated with one's physical makeup, and they can be an airhead or have no usefulness whatsoever. And that's no sustainable usefulness, right? But value will put you in a position where you are connected with someone or something that can help you acquire sustainable assets and benefits. Hello, somebody. So what I'm saying to you is, instead of worrying about trying to acquire the desires of your heart, maybe you need to look for more things of value. But you know what? I'm going to leave it alone. And I'm going to bring on my guest, because he is a spectacular individual. And I'm going to bring him on right now. Hi, Dale.
What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's happening?
Not too much. So look, Dale, I got a question for you, because you're a guy. So I want to talk to you about it. So do you, as a man, do you want a woman to desire you, or do you want a woman to value you?
Value.
Okay.
So value.
What does that look like to you? Like, if a woman values you, what does that look like to you? Oops. What does that look like to you?
So value, I mean, like, respect. Respect me. Just appreciate who I am as a person, Okay. Not taking me for granted, So yeah, the main thing is just respect. It's big thing.
Okay, so what does respect look like? Because we say that word a lot, but I don't think a lot of people even know what respect is.
I mean, respect. I mean, like respecting. Okay, it's like me, the female, we exclusive. We in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about, like, respect me while you're with me, or even when you're not around me. I mean, yeah, with your friends, and you got other guys trying to come at you, and you're not entertaining whatever they get to say to you, because you respected me and you respected our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking about, like, respect on that sense. I mean, you respect me when you're around me. If we have a disagreement about something, you're not you know,
One moment.
oh, what? Yeah, you're not, cussing at me or, or if I come up, like, if we just have like like if I'm communicating with her, telling her like, hey, I'm expressing to her something I dislike or what she has done. She not over talking me when I'm trying to explain or trying to express how I feel about whatever it is. I have an issue, so you give me that respect to like hear what I have to say. And I mean, that's reciprocated. I will, respect her as well. I'm not going to overtalk her or anything like that, so yeah, respect on that sense.
So, do you feel like, because I think sometimes when we talk about respect, it's kind of
Uh-huh.
like we don't necessarily talk about respect in the aspect of simple things. Like,
Yeah.
to me, when men say you're gonna respect me, it's almost
Uh-huh.
like you're gonna serve or worship me. But I hear you saying
Uh,
that respect is more of it's a principle. It's
yeah,
not
principle, yeah.
necessarily specific actions. It's a
No.
principle. It's
Yeah.
an internal thing. I hear you talking about respect as an internal mechanism. Now, is
Yeah.
that it? Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Respect, and
Okay.
like you like I don't like lies. So,
Okay.
we in relationship, okay, if you love me, to me love is the action word. So,
Okay.
people they use the word love so freely and
Absolutely.
they don't really mean it.
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, so if you really love that person, okay, uh, if you did something that's a violation of your relationship, and hey, you need to be honest, and, tell the
Absolutely.
truth. I mean, just keep it 100. You don't need to be lying, or because that's a form of you respecting your relationship and you respecting that person that you say you love.
So,
So yeah, it's a principle. Yeah.
so I guess, is it safe to say if you actually respect somebody, then
Uh
you
huh.
value them? So
Yeah.
is it would you think it would be safe for me to say, well, if you value me, you will respect me. But if you desire me, you might not give a hoot about me. Would you, I mean, is that safe to say? And your
Yeah. If somebody, yeah. I mean, if somebody desires somebody, I mean, like you was mentioning before, I mean, it's a want.
Mhm,
You don't
mhm.
really. When I look at that word desire, yeah, it is a want. And you don't really have feelings for that person.
Okay.
Yeah, you just curious about that person.
Absolutely. So
Yeah,
Dale, what
yeah.
you just said, I'm sorry about that, but what you just said
Oh,
speaks
no.
volumes, because one of the things that I have been saying is that when you
Mm,
desire something, desire is associated with lust.
yeah,
Desire is like, yo, ooh, let me say something. I take straight up. Desire is what I have for common. Like I just need 5 minutes. That's desire.
yeah.
But value is what I have for the individual that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Like the person that I know,
Right.
when I wake up, you're the first person I think about. When I go to bed at night, I'm thinking about you. Like to me, that is what this value is about. You value your significant other. You value that person that gives you everything. You value that person that makes you feel like you are just on top of the world. And I think that what has happened is somewhere along the way, we
Uh,
turn value into sex. We have turned value into sex. So we associate how much we value a person by how much money they spend on us and how much sex they give us. And that's all we care about. Because as long as we get money and sex, we think that we're valued. When the reality is money, when you
mm,
decide you get money. Prostitutes are
yeah.
desired because they got something that the buyer wants. So
Well,
desire can be associated with money and sex. Now, one of my IG followers said, shout out to Janelle Nicole. She's a makeup artist, my makeup artist, you heard. And she states that desire is associated with no standards. I agree with that 100% because you also have to think about standards. Standards are not physical. Standards are those very things that those attributes that a person has that you cannot see, those things that you can only feel. And so I think that we need to figure out how to operationalize and stop defining stuff by what we believe it is. Because the reality is, if we definitely operationalize value and desire, a whole lot of relationships would come to an end if people sought out individuals based on their actual reality in lieu of their perceived reality.
True.
And that's what I feel. And now, people that's out there, viewers, check in. If this is your first time listening or rocking with me, give me a wave. Give me a wave. But if you've listened to me on live before, drop a 100. But also, what do you think? You guys that are watching, do you want to be valued or do you want to be desired? And then the other part of that is, what are you really worth? Like, really, what are you really worth? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Some of us have a distorted reality in our mind, and we think that we're worth a lot more than we really are. And a lot of that is because as children, some of us are taught that we are up here, right? And that's okay. That's okay. We can be up here. But I think it's important for parents to make sure that they teach their kids that there is a balance, right? And you can be up here, but you also need to know that the same people that you pass on the way up, you just might pass them on your way falling back down. So I think that we need to make that when we are teaching things to promote self-confidence and positive self-image and teaching the children positive self-talk, I think that it's important that we also teach them the reality that bad things can happen to us. The worst thing that I think can happen to a person is that you ask this person, well, what's your plan B if this doesn't happen? And the first thing that come out their mouth is, oh, well, I don't need no plan B because it's going to work. You done already failed.
No. That's true.
That goes back to value and desire. We desire all of these things, but we don't have anything of value to hold on to in case we don't receive the desires of our heart. Now, I want to address one of my IG followers said that she wants both. She wants to be valued and desired. I agree. However, if I had to choose which one I wanted to be the primary, it would be value. Because the things that people desire can be destroyed by anything: sickness, health, age, death. Because you can be desired, but guess what? God rest his soul, Kobe was desired by a lot of people, but what happened to him? You feel what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? I look at so many people I know that have, done great things with modeling. They have an accident, they get disfigured. Now what's up? You get what I'm saying? So I think that what we really have to focus in on, we have to be honest with ourselves and understand that we can either choose to live in actual reality, or we can choose to live in perceived reality. But at the end of the day, one of the major things that we got to think about is, what are we really worth? What do you have? What can you bring to the table? Because if you're expecting, this is what I hate. And I'm going to ask you, Dale, from a male's perspective, but this is what I hate. I hate for a man to say, I want I want a woman that got 36, 24, 42. I don't want her to have no kids. I want her to have her own house, her own car, and all this. But you wear a 4X shirt, a size 60 pants.
Uh,
You got about 7 rolls in the back of your head. Your breath stink, and you got all this going on. You expect to find a mate that got everything that you desire. You crazy. And the same thing for women. A couple of weeks ago, I lost a young lady, and she was like, she want a man that got this, this, this. And I'm thinking to myself, you got like 20 kids. You got about 20. You can't be choosy with the kind of man that you choose for real, for real. You better just pray to God that somebody accepts you with all of the values that you come with.
Yeah.
So but from your perspective, like, I mean, do you sometimes feel like maybe your desires are a bit extreme?
Nah, I don't. I mean, me, I just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. I mean, of course, like the thing I desire in a woman. I mean, yeah, I mean, I gotta find physically attractive, but that's not the only thing I'm looking for. Because I had come across a lot of women who just drop dead gorgeous and physically attractive, but they got a messed up personality, which makes them unattractive. But I mean, yeah, I got found physically attractive, and then I check the personality and see, just see, what they about. And I mean, they got a good, awesome personality, and they treat other people, others right. Then that makes me even more attracted to them. And yeah, I mean, that's what I desire, and that's what I look after. Yeah, plus you got to be trustworthy, honest, and respect herself, and you know how to respect a man if she's interested or love, and those are things I'm looking for. I mean, supportive, caring, and that's it. I mean, I ain't trying to look for anything, spectacular, as long as you're showing that, but yeah, that's it. But nah, I don't think my desires is like out the window, I ain't looking for nobody rich and all like that. I'm not rich, so.
I guess for me, I just always say that the best compliment someone could ever give me would be about my character, my heart, or my mind. Because I was talking with a gentleman a couple of weeks ago, and he made the comment that you are pretty much everything that a man should want. And I love the fact that he used should and would, because it opened my mind. The reality is that society defines and depicts what women should look for and what men should look for.
Yeah.
Society tells men to look for what they desire, but society tells women to look for what we value. And what ends up happening is what we value, the men that we value desire a different kind of woman. So we'll never meet. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The men that have what we value is looking for a different kind of woman because they desire a different kind of woman. And so I think that that's one of the things that we really have to look at. Like, at what point and what is it going to take for people to really start saying, hold up, I got to figure this out because I'm not getting anywhere. And this isn't fun because I'm looking for someone, but that someone isn't looking for me. And so, and the other part of it is, and then we're going to close out on this note, because I want to say that just because someone desires you, that does not mean they value you. And I'm just going to keep it a stat. Ladies, a whole lot of gentlemen desire you. A whole lot of gentlemen lay down in the bed with you periodically. But those same gentlemen will pick up the phone and have a 3-hour conversation with me. Listen to what I just said. Some of the very men that desire you, that may lay in the bed, in your bed periodically, will pick up the phone and have a 3-hour conversation with me about things they would never tell you. It goes back to, do you want to be desired or do you want to be valued? Men, this is what I'm going to say to you. Think about what you desire and think about what value means. Would you want your daughter to be desired in the way that you desire these other women? I'm just saying. Dale, any final thoughts?
I mean, when you put it that way, yeah, I want my daughter to be valued. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying?
But
Hell
you know
nah.
something? And I'm going to say this, and then we will close out. I think it's important to reassess your own worth, because I think a lot of times we desire the things that we don't have.
Yeah.
So we're looking for in other people for the things that we don't have. I'm sorry. Y'all know I'm going there, but I had a damn good daddy. And he taught me what a man really is. So all this other stuff, you can be a semi-pro basketball player. You can be any kind of pro athlete you want to be. I might desire that and trust and believe. I done been there, done that. But guess what? It didn't last because they didn't have anything of value for me. All they could give me was what I desired. But at this point in life, I think we should all be looking for value. And remember, not monetary value. Remember, value is the regard that something is held to deserve. Value is importance, value is worth, and value is usefulness. What are you really worth? Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, peace.